Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to part 11 of our Pokemon Violet series. I am joined by my friend David. Say hello to the people.
Great number one, Monkey for 4 here, and we're back. Welcome back.
Okay, in this
Yeah, that's
episode, we're
all I
going
gotta
to
say.
be catching a Lucario and then exploiting the hell out of it.
Define exploit.
By exploit, I mean using it to make every challenge for the rest of the game an absolute joke.
Fire is that good?
Lucario beats all three champion trainers and the professor.
Hmm.
Lucario is that broken. So you are seeing the
I
screen,
see.
right?
I don't think I ever used one aside from the one we get in X and Y.
You should actually. The fact that they gave you Lucario in X and Y partially killed the difficulty of that game. That game is so easy, but that Lucario also
Honestly,
makes it even easier.
I didn't use it a bit much. Mega Lucario was awesome, but I like the other Megas.
Yeah, at the same time, Mega Lucario breaks that game's difficulty in half. We actually
Hmm.
had this conversation yesterday, but let's explain it to the audience for the sake of some understanding. If a game has a optimal strategy that makes it too easy, should it be the player's responsibility to deliberately limit himself in order to have a more fulfilling experience?
So if you want the more challenge, then yes. Don't just use the optimal strategy. Use another strategy that isn't as wouldn't make it so that wouldn't make it easy.
Now let me ask you this question. Have you played Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yes.
Okay. What was one of the biggest complaints about Kingdom Hearts 3?
I don't know.
One of the biggest complaints
I don't
of
keep up with I don't keep up with the community in games.
That's fair enough. But one of the biggest complaints from not just the journalists but also the core fan base was that the game was too easy until the Remind DLC came out. Now, I should preface everyone by saying that I haven't played the Remind DLC. I assume it does do what they say it did, and it made it super hard. I've seen the Yozora fight on YouTube, and that thing looks insane.
I have seen legit nothing of the game because I'm actually still playing. I've seen nothing of the DLC.
You haven't beaten Kingdom
I don't
Hearts
want
3
any
yet?
spoilers, so I might. No, what?
So, okay, you don't want spoilers, that's
No,
fine.
I beat the game. I just they get DLC.
Okay. I mean, honestly, it's an instance where I think it's worth it. But one of the things that some people were doing was they were deliberately saying, oh, playing it with no theme parks, no shock commands, stuff like that. And then they realized that by the end of all these limitations, all they were doing was mashing X. And while, yes, they were still able to win, it stopped being as enjoyable. Because it gets to the point where no matter how much you limit yourself, if a game is too easy, it's just too easy. Let's look at, because this
Hmm.
is Pokemon, one of the more famous ones would be the Nuzlocke, okay? I think we can get behind the Nuzlocke, right?
Okay, sure.
The thing is, I genuinely do enjoy Nuzlocking a Pokemon game. And part of it is that I do find a lot of the newer games to be very easy. But even still, I can find myself Nuzlocking one of the older games just for the sake of having a challenge. But at the same time, thinking back to it, I think the reason I enjoyed Nuzlocking was because I already enjoyed the base game. If I think that the base game is too easy, would I enjoy Nuzlocking? I wasn't too sure. I did do the attempt in Violet, and honestly, I just had a absolute bore of a time.
Because of the tutorial.
The tutorial does kill it more, but even still, the main quest difficulty isn't too bad. Not at all.
Hmm.
Okay,
Oh,
so
and you crash.
I didn't crash, I landed.
Ah, this part.
This isn't even a puzzle. It turns out that it's just one of them specifically activates the Titan. Now, remember,
Yeah, I know.
I'm doing this without a guide. So, I forgot how to do all this completely. So, what are your thoughts on this Titan section?
Oh, I consider the Titan. I consider the Titan itself an actually genius Titan, and it's really good.
And what makes it genius and really good?
Look, a couple of Raja.
It,
You'll see soon enough to
I,
the audience.
well, Okay, but I'm here for your thoughts, man.
You are, yes, I don't, if you already know, I'll explain to it when we get to that part.
Okay. So Kaparaja, what do you think of him?
I mean, it's the steel elephant, that's cool. I mean, it makes sense. We haven't had an elephant Pokemon since Dawn Fan.
Damn, that was what,
So,
99?
yeah, I think so.
Damn.
So, we're not seeing another one, especially considering this one's supposedly based on the Asian elephant that Hitmonchan can supposedly kill.
If it's supposed to be based off the Asian elephant, why is it in England?
I don't know, but that's just what it says. Like, if you look at the description of what I think it was Hitmonchan in Shield, how originally back in the original game it said it could one punch an Asian elephant. His text now says Kaparaja.
I see. Albeit, I think
So
that the red, blue, yellow, green Pokedex entries are no longer canon because they've been retconned to hell.
says who?
Well, isn't it odd when they bring mention to real world animals in the red, blue, yellow, green
Yeah, and
Pokedex?
then they replaced it with the and then they replaced it with Kaparaja.
Yeah, for Hitmonchan, but that isn't true for every old school Pokedex entry. Some of them don't have that. Instead, they just
So
have a
maybe
completely
they,
different one.
well, maybe for the animal are the animals are meant for placeholders for a Pokemon equivalent to those animals.
I guess, but wasn't there a statement saying that any references to real world animals has officially been phased out by the company?
I don't know.
You don't know? So you just don't follow
No,
anything regarding gaming outside of whatever you play.
not a lot much.
Okay, then. So at this point, we have the final team. What do you think of it?
Um, I need to see it again. I didn't get a good look, so I'll just wait until you're done here.
Yep.
But I can say right now, having a Gardevoir is a good call. It's a good Pokemon, especially since it got the Fairy type.
Okay, here's the team.
Let's see, Gardevoir, Dugtrio. Dugtrio is the one that confuses me, but the rest are good choices.
Interesting. Why does Dugtrio confuse you?
Because I don't think many people use the Dugtrio.
Well, that's because of the... I don't know why, actually. There's probably
Eh.
a reason. It's just personally, I enjoy Dugtrio a lot. I like the design of Dugtrio.
And back to my thoughts on the Titan. Now here's the thing. At this point, I knew nothing about all the other Pokemon, so I did not know about Dondolzo. And then, when it ate the Tatsugiri, it completely shocked me.
You were shocked at an animal eating another animal.
Yes, because while it's mentioned in Pokemon, I never actually see it happen.
I thought you were caught up on the anime. I'm pretty sure that did happen in the anime.
No,
I'm
there's
pretty
been no
sure
fun. There's
we've
been no.
seen...
There's been no Pokemon eating in the anime.
I'm pretty
I
sure
thought
a
you,
Spearow ate a Caterpie at one point.
okay, maybe in the very early season, but that was one time compared to the rest of the show.
Okay, fine, but my point still stands that it has happened before. Albeit your point that it's been a long
One years
time.
ago that yeah, 1 years ago that I can hardly remember.
I guess. Albeit I might be wrong about this. I think that the most watched season of Pokemon are still the early ones. If you
I
can point to any statement saying otherwise, please let me know.
I can't because I don't know official statement.
Fair enough. Okay, so I gotta give credit where credit is due. I do like the added detail on the clothing. And it is nice, albeit it does tank the frame rate when there's so many characters on screen. Oh no.
I'm, I'm,
Did
I'm,
we run out of things to talk about?
no, I'm just I'm gonna keep waiting to this point. 'Cause again, this whole idea of of how Dondozo eats Tatsugiri to get stronger. That this was new to Pokemon. This was a new thing. Like I never seen it happen at all. So it was unique, and it started to open up a lot of strategy in the meta. Do you catch up? Do you keep up with the meta in Pokemon?
Not anymore. I pretty much stayed up to date until effectively Sun and Moon, and then I just kind of dropped it because I realized that building a team is just so annoying.
Yeah. Well, anyways, with Dondozo and Katsugiri, people have found a unique strategy in double that kind of made Dondozo a kind of a big threat. So basically, how they work is if you have Dondozo and Tatsugiri on the same team, Dondozo will immediately eat Tatsugiri, and you'll gain stats according to what kind of Tatsugiri it is. And
So,
the of course they give listen, of course that makes you only have a 2v2 versus 1. But here's the thing. If you were to give Tatsugiri a Toxic Orb and teach it Endure, and it goes down to 1 HP. You then send out Dondozo as a partner, Dondozo eats Tatsugiri, it gets a stat boost, but then the Toxic Orb will kill Tatsugiri, so it dies, and you can switch to another Pokemon, while Dondozo still has the double Omni boost.
oh, I see. I get it now.
So yeah, that was the kind of insane things happening. The favorite Pokemon that people used to was the Flamingo Pokemon because its ability made it copy Dondozo's stats.
I see.
So yeah, that was insane.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Excuse me.
Oh, right. The battle isn't technically over. There's still the third guy. I forgot about that.
Yeah. You still gotta fight this guy.
Which, admittedly, for some reason, it didn't catch me off guard. I just sort of accepted it, albeit I did forget about it during my playthrough of this when I did record this.
See, I'm kind of surprised that this thing, the sushi Pokemon, is a dragon.
Well, yeah, Sharitatsu sounds like a dragon name.
What?
The Japanese name is Sharitatsu. And also, it literally has Giryu in its name. Ryu being the character for dragon.
Ah, okay.
I guess
Doesn't
that's
make
something
sense.
that is lost in the English version. Is that correct? As in, there's no reference to him being a dragon at all?
Let me look at the Pokedex. The Pokedex.
No, just from the name. Before we even get to the Pokedex, just if this is your first time battling it, would you know it's a dragon?
No.
Okay.
It depends. Its name does the name Tatsu mean anything for dragon?
I could look it up. It probably does, honestly.
I know the giddy part. I'm pretty sure that means cut. Oh wait, no, kitty means cut.
Well, I guess
I swear, kitty meant something.
technically Lovecraft had a dragon called Tatsu. So I guess you could use that as a reference.
I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tatsugiri. Oh, it has 6 descriptions.
I see.
According to this, it just says this is a small dragon Pokemon. It's inside the mouth of Dondozo, protects them, enemies to the outside. So it just basically says it's a dragon.
Ah,
And
even
also,
easier.
apparently it's a strategist, which I guess makes sense. We're going into the Dondozo.
So I'm guessing that if I actually caught one of them, I would be able to know it's a dragon.
Well, if you catch the red one, that's where it says the dragon. Where it says the dragon.
So they're all
No,
different
the
types?
Tatsugiri has no. Okay, no, you catch him, then you'll see that it's a dragon type.
Okay.
But the description, only one of them says that. Wait, never mind. There's more. It depends on the version. Never mind. I'm confusing myself.
Well, I'm just asking, are they all dragon type as Pokemon species?
Yes,
Okay.
all Tatsugiris are dragon types.
Okay.
While
Then I would know.
Dondozo is just a water type.
Okay, that makes more sense. Out of morbid curiosity, I actually booted up my old save file of Violet, and I realized that my team is almost 1-to-1 with my original playthrough team.
What's the team? What's the difference?
The only difference is that my Gardevoir has a different moveset, and that my Salamence in this file, in the original file, was an Arcanine. But that's it.
That
Other than that, they're the
okay.
exact same moveset, exact
That's,
same team.
that's what I meant by that's what I meant by different. I don't move that doesn't matter. I'm talking about difference in the team, the Pokemon.
Well, then Salamence and Arcanine switch. That's it. I would assume
Okay.
movesets matter because movesets affect how you use the Pokemon in battle.
I guess maybe, but when I'm just asking about what team you're using, I just want to know the Pokemon.
Fair enough. Well, that's about it, really.
And here comes the scene that. Okay, no. You said not to talk about the dog,
No, you can talk
so
about it.
we're
I,
fine.
I just did it for the first one because
You said
I didn't want to get mad at each other early in the playthrough. This is the last one. The dog is healed finally.
yes, and you apparently still don't feel any emotion towards this.
You know, I actually realized something that was weirding me out when I first played this. It turns out that this Mobastiff Pokemon is given this color to look sickly. Okay, maybe you can get me on that. But if you actually go out and encounter a Mobastiff just in the wild, or evolve one,
It
it's
still
the same
it still
color.
has the color, yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure.
So in that instance, it also loses the whole sickly effect because I just associate that color with Mobastiff at that point.
See, this is where again this adds to the fact of how Pokemon should have voice acting.
We've all been saying this. I don't think anyone, technically,
Yeah,
Black and White 2 had voice acting, but that's it.
I guess.
And the fact that they got voice acting in a DS game, not even 3DS, a DS game, but didn't have voice acting in the big, AAA console release game is a disappointment. And I think we can both agree
Right.
on this, right? Also, did you see that stutter when he was running to the Mobastiff? That's the switch. Look,
Hmm.
I, this is gonna sound completely off topic, but I fucking love Mark II. And the reason I say it
Okay,
is,
yeah, it is off topic.
it's because that game, because I'm running it on my PC, does lag like a motherfucker and does stutter. But here's the thing: on cutscenes, it runs just fine. Okay, it stays at 60. I'm cool with your game lagging, especially if you're a double A studio. But once more, we are going into the fact that this is a triple A studio, a second party developer at Nintendo, meaning they literally work right under Nintendo, albeit just not under the same company. And they know the hardware in and out. They had the kit from the get go. And they'd been working on different games
Right.
before.
Oh, and now you're Maridon can climb.
Yep. Which means that there is no longer any challenge in traversal. Which, okay, fair enough. It doesn't need to be.
You got it up to this point. I think like when you got this far, you're allowed to just cheese through traversing.
You know what this game needed? Or at least what I want from this game? I want the fact that there are other trainers with Cyclizars. The fact that there's no riding Pokemon battle is a disappointment.
Like, how would that even work?
So effectively, we just use This is what we do. A riding Pokemon battle would be like a race, obviously, and I'm gonna use. I know this is because I'm a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh, but I'm just gonna use the Yu-Gi-Oh rules for this. If you lap your opponent, you win. But here will be the trick here. You have to manage your riding with the actual Pokemon battle. You ever played Willy Breakers on the Wii?
No.
Okay, so in Willy Breakers, you're playing a card game while on a racetrack. Haha. And instead of taking turns, you have to manage your turns, as in your actions, in real time, but being careful not to crash. Because if you get lapped,
See,
you lose
here's the
instantly.
part. Here's the problem with that, with this idea. What if you use a Pokemon that isn't meant to be fast? Like, how would that make sense?
Well, no, we just have the Pokemon. We just have the Pokemon on like the side cart. You know how in motorcycles you can put a little side cart? You just have them
Well,
right in there.
well, yeah, but what? Well, what? Oh, I can try to make a side card for every Pokemon. Like,
I
Well, the
mean,
size is
there.
whatever the size is different. Like, what do you try to use a you try to use a freaking Steelix?
What if you try to use a
Then
Steelix?
again, Steelix could.
Yeah, Steelix could just balance on
I
it.
guess Steelix could just. You know how big a Steelix is?
Yes, I know how big a Steelix is. I've played this series before. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It could just balance on it.
It
Or,
can't. It wouldn't balance on the sidecar.
okay. Well, okay, fine. Considering what this series has done in terms of sizing, I'm looking at you, BDSP. They could have found a way. They could have found a way.
What if they use a whale lord?
Well, they just do what BDSP does and shrink it to slightly bigger than the player.
BDS, look. We're not counting that. It's clear that size and accuracy in terms of display, but lore they're meant to be huge.
Yes, they are meant to be huge in the lore, but I'm willing to take a cut to the lore if it follows the rule of cool. I'm just
Well,
saying.
I'm not.
I'm just saying that. Really, David? You want to go there with me? You don't, okay?
What?
Just.
What?
I'm just gonna stop it right now. I'm just saying that they could have had. Well, I mean, they could have done something like what they did with Sky Battles. You know how in Sky Battles only certain Pokemon can participate?
I guess.
They could have just done that. Was like, oh, riding Pokemon battles. Only flying Pokemon and Pokemon with a high base speed can participate.
I suppose that can work.
Yeah, that could have definitely worked. I'd be down. Okay? And again, it's not just because I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, but also, man, the Yo Asobi music video when they had Nemo and the player character riding together, that was cool.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Also, I went into this Team Starbase completely forgetting that this was the fighting Starbase. I treated it like an electric location, which is why my team makes no sense for my 3 picks.
Electric. Even though you already faced an electric specialist.
Yeah, again, I'm gonna point out, by this point, I just wanted the gameplay to be over. I was just so sick of this playthrough when I was actually playing it. Because at this point, I remember, I was listening to some creepypasta from, like, old school Pokemon creepypasta. Well,
Which one? Which one we're talking about?
uh,
Lavender Town. I Am Dead.
Hypno's Lullaby.
Oh, I think what's it called? Oh, that one.
Do you remember what that is?
Isn't that the one where doing a thing? I don't know something about hypnotizing people or something.
Hypno's Lullaby
That's all I know.
was based off the Lustel thing from Leaf Green Fire Red. The entire creepypasta was that Hypno would sing a song and it would attract kids, so he would isolate them in a forest and molest them.
Yeah.
Look, old school creepypastas didn't give a fuck. They were about scaring the hell out of you, the viewer.
I mean, I'm aware. I know about like Lost Silver and Wally Abandoned.
Man,
I
Lost
think they
Silver
were
was
called.
so good. And I did listen to Wally Abandoned. That one's good too. Although, I don't think I listened to Wally Abandoned during this playthrough. Lost Silver, I definitely did. I listened to the Silver Sleep version. The one where he's narrating.
Yeah. Wait, this is about a nitpick. I don't know why they call it Lost Silver when the character is gold.
Because he was playing a cartridge of Pokemon Silver.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. The final one. Finally.
I always wonder if those cartridges ever did actually exist and people made those special games, but it's just for the sake of the creepypasta.
Well, what happens is they write the creepypasta first, and then fan creators ROM hack it to make it possible.
Fair, I guess that makes sense.
Yep.
Oh, there's also another creepypasta I know is that damn, what was it called? It was a version of the original Red and Black where you control the ghost in Lavender Town.
Pokemon. It was originally called Pokemon Black because that creepypasta came out before Black and White were announced. So they changed it retroactively to be called Creepy Black. Yeah, I remember. That
That's the
one
one
was
where
pretty good.
that's the one where you have the ghost. It kills everyone, and at the end of the game, they all kill you, right?
Yes, that's the one.
Huh.
Yeah.
And what was the creepypasta with Rotting Dead?
Oh, the white hand. Okay, okay. So in the original
Oh,
red, blue, yellow, green,
yeah.
there's an NPC outside of Lavender Tower. This NPC was removed in the Let's Go games, obviously. Who says to you, "Do you believe in ghosts?"
Was it right? And they said there was a white hand on your shoulder, and in Origin it's actually there, I
Yeah, they
think.
reference it in Pokemon Origins. I remember. And effectively,
Right, the white hand.
what happens is if you find a way to bypass the ghost in red, blue, yellow, green without getting the self scope,
Uh huh.
you could encounter the rotting corpse. And he would have two white hands, a Mewtwo, and something else. I think it was a Ditto. And if you lost to this
Okay.
guy, you would get a game over screen where the corpse is holding Red's dead body. Now the thing is,
Right.
I immediately knew this one was fake because I knew about the Clefairy Pokédoll trick, and it just takes you to the cutscene. It doesn't matter if you have the silk scope or not.
Okay.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. I like that one, albeit I didn't listen to that one during this recording session. You know which one I
Right.
listened to? I listened to Smile Dog at one point.
What's the Smile God?
Smile Dog. It's about the image of
Oh,
yeah.
Smile Dog. Okay, yeah, I know Smile Dog.
Yep. So in a way, I was kind of reliving my childhood, listening to a lot of these old creepy stories. Ah, what a time. That was a time.
That was cool.
And also, one thing that actually started to tick me off is whenever this truck attacks, the trainer on top of the truck despawns and then respawns in.
That. Oh my God! I never noticed that.
That bothered the hell out of me when I was playing.
That. I guess so. Like,
That looks
it would have been
horrible.
cool if they did if they animated her on it with the attack. That
Yep,
would have been cool.
I agree. Do you now understand why I use so much speed up during these truck battles, now that we're at the last one?
Also, well, this is also kind of on you. You're using a dragon type move against a steel type.
In my defense, I thought it was a pure fighting type. Also, I don't think
Yeah, the typing don't. I don't think the typing change with these.
they
I think
don't.
they're still poison steel.
They don't change to my knowledge, but in my defense, I wasn't using a guide, so I did not know.
Fair enough.
Man, I mean, I can tell you right now that if I was using the internet during this playthrough, would have gone very differently. It wouldn't look alike in the slightest.
Alright.
Yep. Also, I will say that by the final episode of this, I will have grinded so much off screen that it becomes blatantly unfair. And it wasn't grinding out of sake of precaution. I just really like
Are
level
you just
grinding in
switching
video
to
games.
Are you just switching to intimidate after intimidate?
Correct. Intimidate tactics.
That works, I guess.
Well, yeah, that's a strategy. And because this is a regular run and not a challenge run, item abuse is legal. Hell yes.
Right.
Man, it really does goes to show how much the developers tip the scales in your favor because of item abuse. Don't you agree?
I guess. Yeah, a bit.
Well, I would go beyond more than a bit. I think a lot, because you know we've been
Oh.
doing the Neptunia races, you and me, and even with items, sometimes the party members get knocked out.
Yes, I am well aware of that.
Yeah. So
I'm still so mad about what happened
The
during
blonde
during the low weed chapter.
the blonde run, you die in the first 5 minutes.
What up?
I know. So we are good to go for the race tomorrow, right?
For them, well, yes.
Okay.
We just probably have to do it like a bit kind of earlier than you might than usual, but
What time?
we should be able to go.
What time you want to do it?
Uh, maybe around. I think we could probably start like around 2 or something.
2 p.m.
2
Gotcha.
or 3.
That's easy. I could do it.
Okay.
Okay. So we now defeated the fighting Biwa. Yeah, that's her name, Biwa. What's her name in the English version?
Eri.
Eri. Okay.
Yes, ERI.
Eddie. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We finally defeated her, meaning we can finally put an end to these Team Star raids. I swear. Pressing R when walking around does not a good gameplay experience make.
I guess. Yeah, you know, it does. Oh, no, I guess it doesn't. It doesn't. I agree.
Yeah, I was actually starting to get bored during this. And it really does show. The don't get me wrong. I am still playing this to the best of my ability, but I am not taking advantage of my knowledge of Pokemon to the fullest.
Really.
Pretty much. I'm mostly playing for the sake of winning, not playing for the sake of obliterating. There's a difference.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I think we want. Do we want to what to talk? Do we want another thing to talk about?
I think we did.
Oh crap!
Crap.
Thing.
Uh,
Um.
oh shit. No.
Okay. No problem. What do you mean? I guess we can talk about. I guess we. I guess we can talk about here how you gonna do it like the last part of the Team Star, right?
Well, no.
Or is that later?
I
We can do that
finished the
later.
I finish Button, Nemo, and Pepper in the same episode. I do all three in one go.
Okay, that makes sense.
So we won't be seeing him.
So
Instead,
right,
we're
and
gonna be fighting the psychic bitch.
oh yeah, I forgot you kind of did the last gym at I think the 6th one.
Yeah, again, I
Guys,
forgot the order.
technically the ice gym leader is meant to be. It's meant to be. I still say we should have done level. Still think they could have done level scaling.
Well, I guess. I guess they could have. But they would have to do it well. That's my problem. Do I trust Game Freak to do level scaling properly?
Hmm.
That's the question.
Uh,
That is the real
I
question.
think if they were, I'm sure they could be capable of doing it if they just had the motivation to.
It's
But then
not even
again, it's
motivation
money.
anymore.
That you get.
It's not.
Like I'm look, okay, I'm probably making excuses for them, but I still think that if they actually try, they will make good level scaling. I think they're capable of it.
But with how little time they actually have to make these games, and how stupidly small of a team they have, could they, even if they wanted to?
And they could. They have better conditions.
What conditions are bad that they have, according to you, other than time crunch?
You just said they were rushed. They had a short time.
Yes, but here's the thing. How would they fix
That's what I
that?
mean by better. That's what I mean. That's what I mean by better conditions. They have more. They have a lot more time to work in the game to polish it.
Well, that's fair.
That's what I meant by more.
I agree. I agree.
Right. Because of that, if they had a larger time, I do think they could do proper level scaling.
Well, they could, but I mean, they could in theory. But do you think, as just in terms of sheer talent, could they?
Yes,
Okay.
as I said multiple times already. I don't know why you still think that I'm saying they're not.
Well, I'm not
I've said it
saying you're
multiple
saying that
times
they're
that they.
not. I'm saying that you're saying they are, but I was going by layers. Okay, layered
What does that even
speech.
mean?
So, just because someone in theory could do something, doesn't mean that they could do it in practice.
If I still don't, I don't know why you bring that up. Why you bring that up? Basically, I think they can do it. So I just think they could do it. There, done and done. Let it end. I don't know why you make the conversation more complicated.
Because I'm trying to fit words in, David.
But, but sometimes you sound like you're coming just of mumbling.
I guess. Okay, I don't
Oh,
like
this
this
part.
minigame. This is the worst minigame.
It's for me. It's just very boring.
Boring is worse than bad. Do we agree on this?
That's why. That's why I said it's boring.
Yeah. But it's just boring, or do you think it's the worst in the entire game?
I don't know. I don't know about that, but I'm just not a fan of it. Like as you.
Okay. So then, which of these gym minigames would you say is the worst?
Let's see. No, not that. Not that. Nope.
Oh, so this
No.
Nanako
I.
character, I don't know what she says in the English version, but I kid you not that in the Japanese version, if you when you defeat her, she starts saying about how your player character has a perfect body and that she wishes she could be like you.
Okay, that's weird.
Well, she's saying it as in like she has body image issues, but it's played like a joke in Japan. I don't know what they say in English.
I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah. So who did you pick again, or did you pick it all?
I have not.
Hmm. Okay.
Because I don't know. Like I will admit this generation has kind of the weakest gym puzzles ever.
You and your Pokemon have a perfect body, and they spell body in English. uh, there's
I mean, this was definitely a close one. This is definitely a close one to the bottom.
absolutely. Oh, so I should be letting everyone
So
know
what?
that I'm using a GameCube controller for this.
So what is it about you that what about you that you don't like this mini game?
It's not strategic. There's no depth to it. Just press button. Okay?
It's like you think everything needs to be overcomplicated.
Not overcomplicated, okay? I'm not asking for ROM hack bullshit. I'm just asking for difficulty that's on par with something from the early 2000s and late 90s.
Huh.
Okay, I'm not asking for the cryptic nonsense of the 80s or the overly simplified puzzles of God of War Ragnarok. Seriously, the fact that IGN had issues with some of those puzzles shocks me, considering some of the NPCs give you the answers.
So IGN, I don't know if I trust them as gamers.
No, the one that gets me is when Sonic Frontiers came out, because technically, Sega went to IGN specifically for the reveal trailer, okay? Whoever at IGN was playing during that reveal trailer was horrible. Did
Right.
you remember that reveal trailer?
Yes.
This is why. And here's the thing. That guy managed to beat Kronos Island in 35 minutes.
What? We sure talking about the same people?
Yeah, yeah, I remember. I think to myself, how did you finish Kronos in 35 minutes if that's your gameplay for the reveal trailer?
I got no clue.
And there was this guy
It's almost
called...
as bad it's almost as bad as the journalist who struggled against the cup in the cup
Oh, the
tutorial.
one where you have to jump from one side to the other? Yeah, I remember. Oh,
Yes.
oh, you should see the Doom Eternal reveal gameplay footage. The guy didn't know that you could aim and walk at the same time. So he would move, stop, and then aim.
Oh my god, that was painful to watch.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm thinking to myself, maybe these are the reasons why modern games tend to be easy unless a selling point is that they're hard.
Hmm.
Yeah. Again, I'm not asking for complicated. I'm just asking for something that makes me engage with it more. Something that forces me to at least think about it. There's no thinking here.
Thank you.
Well, I guess on a scientific level there's thinking, but it's not intricate thought. Now, I know what someone's going to say in the comments, if they comment at all, and it's that, Miguel, this is a children's video game. It doesn't need to be complicated. I'm aware.
That is not an excuse.
Thank you, David. I agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna say right now. This is one thing I'm gonna agree with on all ends of the earth. I don't care if the game meant targeted for younger audiences. That is not an excuse for it to be too simple.
I see.
Lately people have been underestimating. Lately people have been underestimating how much kids can take. It's just, if
Well,
anything, it kind of lowers their if anything, just lowers their problem solving skills to make it way too easy.
it's actually a bit different from that. It's not that they underestimate what kids can do. And I actually, I listened to a developer interview. I'm trying to remember which game it was. It was for a game on Switch. And they pretty much said that the reason the puzzles were so simple is because children today get distracted easily. And
Wait,
admittedly,
what?
that they get distracted easily. And admittedly, if you
Ah,
remember that ADHD rates across the country are going up, I understand that mentality. But then I also have to question, why not just have different difficulties?
yeah, that's a good thing. Like, just, just make the game change the difficulty of the game for either for a younger audience would make a bit easier, or for a more mature audience, more experienced audience to make it harder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, hell, this is actually something that Netunia used to do. They used to have an easy, medium, and hard mode. But not,
right.
but not anymore. And I just don't get it. Ah, yes, me staying in with the dragon type against a fairy type. Who could care? Yeah, right.
Right.
Also, if you pay attention to the salamence, that thing is clipping. Or more accurately, it moves to one part of the screen and then it then teleports, like you just see there, to a slightly different part of the screen. Like look at the. Did you see how the salamence just shifted to the left a little bit?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that looks jarring when you played this game a lot. You know, I gave crap to the super simplified animations of Pokemon Sword and Shield, but at least it was rendered properly.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of glad they improved the stuff in the DLC, but as you would say, well, why couldn't they just do it in the beginning?
You know what gets me? In a different
What?
game, one of my favorite games of all time, Sonic the Hedgehog for Next Gen, the Team Attack Amigo DLC actually improves Tails' control. And only Tails.
Really?
Yeah, it makes him slightly faster on ground and gives him better handling.
That's strange.
And my question is, first of all, if they could do that via DLC, why not fix all the characters? And my second question was, why not just make it an update?
Good question.
I was so confused.
I Yeah, I don't know the answer to that either. That's a genuine good question. I wonder.
And the thing that gets me is that DLC has you play as Tails, Blaze, and Omega, but only Tails was changed. What was so bad about Tails' gameplay according to the developers, that they had to fix him, but no one else.
Control weirdly.
I mean, Tails controls about the
Um,
same as everyone else in that game.
then I don't know.
I don't know either. And that's why I was so confused when I
So
played that.
okay, no,
Look at that! Look at that! The ground texture isn't loaded. It's just the color black.
I guess
What do you
I
mean?
didn't see it.
The ground texture wasn't
I
loaded.
did not. See.
I know. I know. What were you gonna ask?
No, I kind of forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna say what I saw was the best gym team, but then I remember that they were asking what the worst one was, not the best one.
Well, you could tell me what the best one is if you want.
It on my honest opinion, I feel like the best gym puzzle would be actually the ghost gym here.
Oh, the rap gym?
Yeah, the one where you had to do double battle to get there.
That's not a puzzle. That's a gimmick. But it is a good one. Double battles
No,
are the premier format.
yeah, which is why I like Raihan in Sword and Shield.
You know, whenever I read the name Raihan, I never pronounced it as Raihan in my head. I always pronounced it as like
What do you pronounce it as?
I used to say Raihan. Raihan. You're just in shock, aren't you?
Raihan?
No, just Raiha.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Raiha.
Raiha.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we
Um.
get yen in this game, but we're in Spain.
But then again, well, technically we get what do you call Poké dollars? I actually don't know what the currency is technically called.
It's called yen, just straight up yen.
Yen.
Yeah, you get yen in every
Over in
Pokemon game.
Spain.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Every Pokemon game gives you yen. Doesn't matter which region you're in. Which means that Pokemon has a universal currency system.
Right.
Which means that the possibility of a one-world government having conquered the Pokemon universe is a lot more possible than we might think initially. Look at how freaking pathetic Nemo is in this fight.
What?
The rival in this fight is a joke. Absolutely pathetic.
She could be a lot better. I'll admit. According to the here at this point she's going easy on us and we're still new.
Still new. We have 7 gym badges.
But yeah, but we're technically our first year where she's meant to be at champion level.
I guess, but you would think she'd be a better judge of strength than this.
Right.
I mean, seriously, that was what, a level 42 snail?
Yeah, and you're in like the 50s.
Did you see what my
How
Lucario
many more
was?
gyms do you have? Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I believe it's, I think it's just, 2 more. Alright, 6 gym
What
leaders,
else
you're right.
was? Oh yeah, I forgot. You didn't go against the normal.
Yep.
Or did you?
No,
Or
I
that one
haven't.
I missed.
I didn't fight him. I didn't fight him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're definitely over level for that one.
You see what my Lucario was?
70. What the what? Oh, then again, you caught it at the Terrestrialized Pokemon. I think they're always stronger.
I didn't realize it'd be
But
75 though.
Wild Terra Pokemon are typically always stronger than normal wild Pokemon.
But 75? That's greater than the champion.
But here's the thing. Well, I'm sure you know the point. You can't because of your gym because of the number of badges you have. You can't control them. They won't obey you.
It's only a percentage. He obeys me enough of the time that I can
They
still use it.
want
Because I'm aware of how they used to do that. But here's the thing. In the strategy guide for Pokemon Yellow, they specifically mentioned that you can't have your friend trade you his Mewtwo so you can steamroll the game. However, somebody
to.
tested it. Even with all the disobeyments, it is still faster to just trade a Mewtwo than it is to play through the game normally.
Wow. Talk about dancing speed. Talk about that speed one stress.
It's actually not a good speedrun strat
Oh,
because the speedrun itself uses some crazy ass glitches to skip a lot of things.
you know about that one speed run of Super Mario 64 where supposedly a stun particle hit the console at just the right time where it just glitched the guy immediately to the top?
Yes, I've seen that.
That's insane.
I mean, is that better or worse than Yuga predicting a meteorite in Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s?
I don't even know. Well, I know better because this guy didn't plan it. It was just a complete accident.
Okay, so it is better. Would you like to inform the audience about that whole
Yeah.
Yuga shenanigan?
Okay, so those of you who don't watch Yu-Gi-Oh! 7, Yuga, the main protagonist, while he's probably the worst protagonist in terms of dueling win ratio, seriously, he loses way too much.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. He supposedly is a super genius who can predict crazy things. I kid you not, he was able to predict where a meteor would land like weeks, I think months ahead actually. But not just that, he predicted the exact time, the exact location, and the exact angle. Also, he could time his turn at just the moment that he needed it.
And even worse, he
Which,
predicted the 2 cards that would be inside that meteorite.
yeah, and he. Oh, we'll talk about it later.
Okay, we'll continue in the next part. Say goodbye to the people,
All
David.
right. Sign off.